On today's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Finn, what are you doing here? I was planning on running away from you without a word. I just couldn't pull you down into the landfill with me, Finn. It just isn't fair. Hey girl, you don't have to run away. I have the most amazing news. News? I don't understand. The news doesn't come on until 6:30. I know. That's not what I mean. Look, what I have to say is gonna take a while. Do you have a couple hours? Hey soapmates, welcome back. It's Monday, March 15th, 2021, and you better believe it, it is time for another bold and beautiful episode recap. I'm your host, Keisha Chantal, and wait a second, I see my regulars here, but I also see some new faces. Nice, welcome everyone. Come for the soaps, stay for the laughs. And if you like what you see, consider subscribing to my channel, hitting that thumbs up, and dropping me a line in the comments and letting me know that you love to cackle as much as I do over this hot mess. Are you ready? When last we met, Steffy took it upon herself to make important decisions about her future without consulting the man that had been swallowing her crap for the last few months. Yes, I'm talking about Dr. John Finnegan, aka God's unproblematic gift to Los Angeles. Steffy told Ridge that it was time to flee the nasty mess that she had created, and no one could stop her. Not even the man who promised to be by her side whether she cheated on him or not. So, with a flight to Paris booked, Steffy said, "Peace out," and left for the Cliff House to pack the last few threads of her shame and guilt. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to Steffy, Finn was breaking Vinny's face for tampering with Steffy's paternity results and making it look like she was pregnant with Waffle Jr. Whew! Close call, am I right? After the smackdown, Finn bolted through the door so that he could find Steffy and give her the amazing news. But when he arrives at Forrester, he finds Ridge, who tells him, "She's leaving LA. She's going to get Kelly and fly to Paris." Finn's face is like, "Eh? Come again? Leaving for Paris? What, for business? She didn't mention anything to me about that." Ridge tells him, "Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but she's not leaving for business. She's leaving LA. And she's not coming back. There, I said it." Again, Finn's face is a canvas of utter confusion. He tells Ridge, nah man, she wouldn't do that to me. She wouldn't. She wouldn't? Oh, really? Just like she wouldn't let Liam have sex with her while she's in a committed relationship, right? You know, you were loving her down 2-3 times a week proper. And yet, stop. Don't be petty, okay? Finn has moved past this. Sorry. It's just, I'm still a little triggered, okay? I will try to do better. I promise. Where was I? Okay, right. Finn learns that Steffy is on her way to the Cliff House, and he tells Ridge that he's going to go after her. But if she calls in the meantime, tell her not to get on that plane. And then he runs out. So let's imagine Finn just speeding up the PCH in a white Tesla. Oh yeah, that's fast. At last, we're in Malibu, and not a moment too soon, because Steffy was just taking in the last squalls of sea air before leaving her boyfriend in the dust. All of a sudden, she hears her name over the cacophony of seagulls. "Steffy!" Finn calls out, and she turns around to see Adonis. No, I mean Finn. She turns around to see Finn running toward her. And it is here where we begin today's episode. The day begins at Spencer Publications, where Wyatt picks up on the fact that Liam isn't doing any work. He asks if he's distracted, then follows up by asking about any updates on his brother's sham of a marriage. Landfill tells Wyatt that there's a bit of good news and bad news to report. You see, though Hope hasn't pushed him out the door yet, they're kind of just functioning as husband and wife and parents. I take this to mean that Hope is merely tolerating him for the sake of her children, so she gets up every morning and puts on her clown makeup and her red nose so that everyone can feel jolly around her. But what about you, sis? Are you feeling jolly? No, of course not. Because who can feel jolly or happy when they have this? Liam then goes on to say that his wife is really struggling, and maybe that has a lot to do with the fact that she's trying to figure out how she fits into this new dynamic with baby number 2. And then Wyatt says, I'll tell you how. She's going to be your wife and a stepmother to Kelly and this new baby. That's it. Problem solved. Landfill replies to this by saying that stepmother was never really a role that Hope ever expected to play. What? Because last time that I checked, Kelly was alive and well before Hope decided that she was going to skid back down into the landfill. So explain to me like I'm 5 how Hope never expected to play the role of stepmother. That's what I thought. Shut up, Liam. I wish that I could tell you that the conversation gets better after this, but it doesn't. Because Wyatt then says to Landfill, it sounds like you're giving up. And Landfill replies, oh, no. It's just that, in the past, we have spoken about how Hope deserves better. And doesn't she deserve better than me? Doesn't she deserve a husband who isn't trash? Just as I was about to agree with Liam for once, he goes and ruins it by saying this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I'm giving up. And I'm not saying that there's a guy out there that's better for Hope than me, because there isn't. What? Warning, waffle logic. Please shut down all
There's the alarm,
systems
guys.
immediately.
Reclaiming my time.
Claim your time. Oh my God, Hope's depressing cave. It's so awful in there, isn't it? At least Thomas's news brightens up the place a bit. Hope can hardly believe her ears. So my husband isn't having a baby with his ex after all? Oh, this is amazing news. Oh, wait a second. He's still a cheating douchebag. Never mind. Hope tells Thomas that she really appreciates him coming right away to give her this news, because the Thomas of the past would have lied to her face for months and used this information to his advantage. Touché, mademoiselle. But I have turned over a new leaf, you see? So just being here in this moment with you, seeing that beautiful smile on your face, it just fills me with such happiness. It is all the thanks that I need. Truly. Where did this French accent come from? Get you a man that looks at you the way that Thomas is looking at Hope. He is hanging on her every word, probably imagining what it would be like to hang on her lips. Well, snap out of it, Thomas. You're not her type. She loves trash. Did I lie? Anyway, Hope is very curious about how this whole ill-conceived plot ever came to be. And Thomas explains that Vinny was just trying to help him out. And I don't know, that was just too basic an explanation for my liking. So how about we zhuzh it up a bit? What if Thomas discovered that Vinny had a secret crush on him for years, but knowing that Thomas wouldn't reciprocate those feelings because he was too busy, loving women, he developed this really sick obsession that manifested itself into fulfilling Thomas's every desires, whether it be drugs or, fraudulently changing paternity results so that he could be with the person that he loved. Wouldn't it be creepy if we had a scene where Thomas goes over to Vinny's apartment and discovers this shrine that Vinny had built of newspaper and magazine clippings and locks of hair and, little mementos of friendship that he had kept over the years and crystallized into objects of worship. I'm talking deep, dark, and very twisted. The kind of stuff that keeps you at the edge of your seat, biting your nails and wondering what's going to happen next. Not, I guess he just thought that he was helping out a friend and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Very, very boring. But let's talk about you, Hope, and how much I love you. Before we fall asleep, let's head on over to Malibu. Pause. I just want to savor this moment. The crisp ocean air of the Pacific, the way that Mount Olympus is shining a light on Finn and just hitting him in all the right angles, the absolute joy in this man's face, knowing that all his hard work, making sweet, generous love to Steffi 2 to 3 times a week properly, has finally paid off because now she's carrying his child. Glorious! Finn says, "Hey girl, what if I told you that something amazing happened? And the fact that it happened is so amazing that you're not going to actually believe that it happened. So, it's just amazing. You know what I'm trying to say?" Of course, Steffi has no idea what Finn is rambling on about. And no amount of amazing is going to change their circumstances or the fact that Finn is shining so brightly that he is literally blinding her. Steffi then goes into what feels like a 10-minute monologue about how she appreciates what Finn is trying to do by proposing, but it's not going to change their reality. And Finn then says, "What if the child were mine? Would that change our reality?" Ugh, Finn, listen, I love you, brah. I do. You my number one, but come on. Have we not remembered anything about sentence structure from English class? It's not what if the child were mine. It's the child is mine. Is. And you see, if he had just gone ahead and said this from jump, then we would have avoided Steffi doing this. Lies. Okay? No woman of sound mind would turn and run away from a man that looks like Finn and he has a ring, a beautiful, gorgeous ring in a box, ready to give it to her. Stop the cap. Well, I'm guessing that the sight of Steffi running away in dangerously high-heeled boots in sand, no less, makes something click inside Finn's brain. Because to get her to stop, he goes, "Wait! I was just playing, girl. The child is ours." Naturally, this makes Steffi stop dead in her tracks, and she turns around and looks at Finn and goes, "Come again? I don't follow. The child is ours." Finn runs over to tell Steffi all the sordid details about Vinny working in the lab and changing the test results and him having to break his face up. Ooh, yeah, get him. Woo, yes, fun times. The music then swells into a crescendo and she jumps into Finn's arms and he swings her around, multiple times. So fast that I got motion sickness. I got a weak stomach. I do. Now that that's settled, Finn takes another stab at a second proposal and he just says the sweetest things. "Hey girl, you came into my life and showed me that life is more than just about work. It's about helping your patients through broken bones and addictions and waffling ex-husbands. You showed me joy when you weren't cheating on me and laughter when I wasn't crying over you cheating on me. And that I am capable of loving someone even though they cheated on me for no reason. And now someone's gonna call me dad thanks to you. And maybe that should be enough. Maybe I shouldn't want any more. But after everything that I've put up with, damn it, I deserve this. So, will you marry me? Will you say yes to being my wife so that I can build a moat around this property and pour hot grease on Liam should he ever fix his face to disrespect me again. Release the doves! Nice, right? Freedom from the landfill has never tasted so sweet. Well, now that Finn and Steffy are happy and free from the landfill for the time being, it's time to speculate on Finn's past. So, about 2 weeks ago, I put a question on Instagram to ask my soapmates to come up with a messy background story for Finn. And the winner is, ta-da-da, Calf Betts, who submitted a very interesting backstory for Finn. And it got the most likes, and it goes a little something like this. Parents, Sheila, Carter, and Scott Granger. Just before Scott Granger died, he asked Lauren to give Sheila a second chance. You see, he had given her a second chance or two in the past. Hello, baby Finn. So inspired by his doctor parents, the father he never met but only heard about, he followed in their footsteps. For the most of his life, the good Granger genes has won over the Carter genes. The ring he gave Steffy was an Eric proposal leftover. Brooke will think it looks familiar when Steffy proudly shows it off. Finn will remain good till Grandma Sheila starts butting her nose in. Steffy will clash with her. Finn will stick up for Mother. Cue Trouble in Paradise, and Steffy gets a hankering for waffles with extra syrup. Sheila goes to bat for her boy, and away we go. All right, I like that one. Let's see if it comes true. And now, dear soapmates, it is time to close our recap. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be seeing you later this week.